Well, I'm really glad you got that picture, Marco, because that's spectacular. Of course, it's not Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, sorry.
Right.
It's actually Pennsylvania.
Correct.
Yeah.
I have to send you guys the picture of the mountains that I watch every single day when I'm here at my NGO, which it's like guardians. They're looking when I arrive, they're all looking here to the valley. Then when I'm leaving, it seems like their faces turned and looking out, while I'm here, it's okay, they don't need, they're got when I leave, their heads turn over. It's amazing. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture and send it to you guys. It's really
Well, thank you so much. Thanks,
Now,
Patricia. I want to say hi to Jamin and Jerry. You guys both came at the same time. How nice to see you.
Shannon, are you recording to the cloud?
Uh-huh. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, shit. See, I have to record to the cloud when I'm recording the after chat.
It's fine.
And
It's like I know you normally don't, so that's cool. I'll get it to you.
thank you so much. I'm sorry.
No, it's not a big deal.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And yet I can do better. So I will try. So Jamin, isn't it like the middle of the night for you? It's not, he can mute me. I mean, he's
No,
got the
no, no,
power.
no. He can't talk. He's
He can't talk.
he's closing the door back there, so
So he's going to
perhaps
whisper to us
yes.
because it is the middle of the night.
Where is he?
Belgium.
Brussels.
Where?
Brussels.
Brussels, Belgium.
Belgium, in Belgium.
So check this out.
On the
I
other
have
side of
to walk. Can you hear me now? I have
Yes.
to
Yeah.
talk very softly. All right. So I literally walked to another room away from where the computer is. And I've got my Bluetooth earbud in, and then that's how I don't wake up Melissa.
Ooh,
And
you
yeah,
don't want to do that.
it's 3 in the morning here, and I stayed up for you, Shannon's sister, because I love you and everything you stand for. So I'll be listening in. So when you want me to speak, I just have to walk to the other room so I don't wake up Melissa.
Okay, so we can't talk to you, but we can talk around you.
No, he's got his earbuds in, so
Yeah,
when
so
we
you can
talk,
hear.
it's okay.
Yeah, good, good, excellent. So while you're listening, it's it feels very weird when you I have a blue heart. I have a blue heart. I can do this.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I want to say hi to Jerry. How are you doing today, Jerry?
Pretty good. How about yourselves?
I have moments of brilliance. Yeah, and then there's
Yeah,
the other ones, and we're not talking about those.
it's been a crazy day of highs and lows for myself too. Crazy
Yeah.
highs and crazy lows. Yeah.
Well, what? Tell me a high.
That sounds like a good idea.
My high was I was offered almost double the amount per acre of the farmland that I lease that I had for the price last year.
Wow, somebody wants it.
Yeah, they're going to grow potatoes on it, and potatoes draw a huge amount of energy out of the earth. Well, you can imagine they harvest around 17 to 20 tons per acre. That's like an entire tractor trailer load every acre.
Wow. So if they use good biochar and whatnot, that wouldn't harm the soil at all.
Well, no, what you want to do is you want to next year after that plant soybeans because soybeans puts nitrogen back in the soil. And then the following year, corn, kind of give it one more rest before you do potatoes again on the third year.
Aha.
Or
Yeah,
maybe
crop rotation.
or maybe plant hemp.
Yeah.
And that's a
Yeah.
really good thing.
No,
The
the
fiber
rotation
from
is
hemp is
perfect.
wonderful.
Hemp does good things for the soil.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
To
Jerry.
see nice Shannon and Lisa's work last night with myself and Marco. I just put in the chat last night our inauguration invitation so you can see the final product of our December 2025 event.
It's really, really pretty, if I do say so, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really like it. It was really well done. I'm so glad that Lisa is so talented.
She is such a whiz bang on that thing.
She truly is.
There you go.
So there's the first page.
That's the second page.
Air, earth, water, and fire. Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
you guys are
good.
the first ones to see it.
Good job.
Yeah.
The
Thank you
world's
for sharing.
first multi-faith.
Absolutely. I'd also like to welcome Angela. Would you like to activate your camera and your mic and introduce
Hey,
yourself?
hi. Hello
Hi.
there. I'm Angela Hanna. I'm from the Mankinder Network. I've been a fly on the wall for a little while, so
You have. And I'm so glad to
yeah.
see your face. What happened?
Looks like,
She looks like she froze up.
yeah.
What happened?
No.
Angela, you're gonna have to turn your
go.
camera off.
Yeah, I was standing in the wrong spot. There's a couple of spots I stand in my yard that aren't the greatest. So there, is that better?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay.
But I can hear you, and that's good. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, and that should be better. Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad that you could join us, Angela, of the Mankinder. How is the kind man?
He's doing well. He's doing quite amazing, actually. We got a lot of irons in the fire and we're doing a lot of things. So it's a great deal. Yeah.
Excellent. I'd like an update on what's going on with you guys, if you're up to that. However, not just yet, because
Thank
we
you.
have Stan in the room. Stan is here, and that's a wonderful thing. Hey, yeah, how you doing, man? I can't hear you.
I hate automatic offs. That's why I don't want to do it in the after
Well,
chat, because
on
I
the other hand, it's very nice to have the automatic off when they first arrive, because then they don't start talking as soon as they walk in the room.
yeah, for you it's nice. For me, it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense because I don't care. But it's okay. I love you anyway.
Well, thank you so much. I'm
Mhm.
really glad that you joined us, and
Okay.
I'm kind of we're going around the circle saying hi to everybody. And Lisa said that she was coming, and Joan said she was coming, and um, I was hoping that Becky Big Canoe would be able to join us, and um, Rick Bortello was another one that I was hoping would be able to join us. Claudia Valdez, she was going to join us, but then her Mayan elder is on his last few breaths, so she had to go to the hospital to wish him well. And so she won't be joining us tonight, although that was a possibility. Who else can I talk about? Well, they're not here. No. I'm sorry, Marco. I do try to keep you laughing a little bit. I see I succeeded. I'm
I appreciate it.
So this is a very going to be a very laid back meeting, I hope, because we're all really pushed for time. And if this can be an oasis within that, um, an island of coherence in the maelstrom of whitewater that we are going through, then I think it's time well spent. Because I know each of you is hard pressed by what's going on in your lives. I know I am. I mean, I'm dealing with AI doing all sorts of weird things to my computer, and Marilyn Hamilton, is that no Marilyn King from the Peace Week. Do you remember, Stan?
Yes, Marilyn King. I can't forget her.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
the
She,
Olympian. My God.
yeah, yeah. She sent me a message in response to my invitation to come here, and talked about the after chat. Um, and I was a little, how do you say this? Disappointed um, in that her comment to me was one comment about the after chat. I thought the after chat invited Humanity Rising presenters to engage with attendees, and there would be questions slash discussions with slash for the presenters. That does occur, but my limited experience is that attendees are sharing their interests with one another, which is fine, but not what I expected when I invited guest speakers to the after chat. I hope this is helpful. My response to her was, thank you so much for telling me. Your experience is important to me. The after chat has developed over 4 years into a community with a lot of experience and expertise, and has a lot of opinions, love, and expectations. They do pretty much as they please. I'm primarily there so they don't talk on top of one another. If you have suggestions for creating the ambiance you would prefer, like Stephanie Mines did, I would happily step back. Please let me know what you'd like for the next time you join us. I look forward to it. So,
You're so diplomatic. It's wonderful. That's
thank you.
beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
At least I think so.
Well, she's someone I really would like to have um, uh, along with us. And, you know, the right things need to be said. Um, and I remember how Stephanie Mine came in, and she handled the after chat like it was her space, as it should be, if she wanted it that way. And if Marilyn wants it that way, absolutely. But I can't depend on the next presenter to do the same thing. So if they want to have the space for themselves, I think maybe we should put that forward to Jim. If
Not necessarily. What you could do is put it forward to the group when it first assembles. You have a number of things that you tell people about, raising their hand and stuff like that. And you could offer the presenter who showed up early enough to be able to do something, if you'd like to moderate this conversation, please go ahead. And then otherwise, don't worry about it. We'll take
that
care
would
of
be
it.
easy, wouldn't it? Yeah. Nice idea, Stan. Thank you.
A simple invitation might be all that's needed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember back to when we did the Peace Lab and when we worked the Humanity Rising along with the after chat. That was a pretty powerful week. You know, it was really a pleasure working with Julie Wolfe and everybody working, you know, to make it happen. It was fun. Yeah. So, who would like to pick up the feather next? Yes, Stan.
I'm glad to be here because I was dragging my tail through what was dinner with my wife, and she says, "You need to go upstairs and do your homework and go to bed." And it's partly because the news is just awful, and and Jim makes sure that we know that it's still awful each day, and having Kat, and I made a stupid mistake in talking to her, and
Ooh,
she was nice
yeah.
enough to respond, and you fluffled my feathers. How do you say that? Yeah, I said something that she didn't.
Yeah, yeah, she accused you of using hate speech.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I'm glad for that actually, because most other people are not um, astute enough to catch something, and then also brave enough to say
Say
it.
so.
So, and I agreed with her once I heard what she was saying, um, that I didn't do that very well. And what I'm concerned about is that the United States gets blamed for a lot of stuff, including sending all these weapons to Israel. Um, but it's not just Americans who run that show. And yeah, who we can pin it on, I don't know. But it's certainly anybody with enough money can buy into American corporations and send out what do they call them, representatives, lobbyists, and to warn the people running for office, you're not going to get any money from us if you don't do this. And sadly enough, the people running for office in this country often depend on the big donors to make it possible for them to be in Washington. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I have to say, thank you, Stan, for standing up. It's about time the sheepish little conscious people just kind of like take it. It's time to wake the rest of the people up. This garbage is going on.
I see.
Well, thank
Passionate
you.
man.
And right, have we ever spoken directly to each other, Jerry? I don't think so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What, just one on one? I don't remember. Maybe if that's what you call this conversation here, maybe that would
Oh, well, I sit back like everybody else most of the time.
Okay.
But there is a fire in his belly.
Yes, well, I'm looking for support for the ideas that I just mentioned, that we need to know all around how things work, and things are working very badly, um, because there should not be carte blanche to go around and kill children and their mothers, and it's just makes me sick. And
Um,
stuff in the chat. I need to put it.
Yeah, Angela put in the Mankinder Network, and I'm wondering if she would be able to talk to us about that.
Hi there. I
Hi.
can. Hi. We're doing so many different things. I'm doing so many different things in my personal life too. So the mankinder.net network, you'll be able to email Michael there. He's the head guy that you got to contact in order to get that information out. He'll be able to work with you, and we can schedule an interview or all kinds of stuff. We do all kinds of marketing, networking. Our files are getting pretty big, so we're working on a new website that'll be out here really quickly. And so there you go. That's a quick synopsis of that stuff.
So it seems to me that you put that link in response to what you heard Stan and Jerry talking about. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, somebody put in the chat that they, how can I connect with the Mankinder Network?
Yeah. Media.
Yeah, Jerry.
I got it.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. Yeah. Jerry
Excellent.
put that in there. So
Well, thank you so much.
yeah.
It's good to hear. And I did have that bit of a flurry with Michael. Um, and I look forward to hearing more about what you guys are doing. I
Yeah.
don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, we're doing a lot more things than that. I can't even, begin to tell it all, because I'm doing stuff in my personal life too. There's a group of us, there's a core group of us that are all working together to bring different things out. For an example, I did a Mankinder Network booth, and we are supporting a couple of different organizations right now. So I took that down to First Fridays in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Um, that is a very huge event. It's on Roosevelt Row. They block off about, I want to say a good probably 1.5 2 mile section of downtown Phoenix area. So there's a lot of traffic that comes through there. There's a lot of traffic that comes through there. So
Good. It's good to hear that there are people making the good things apparent to people
yeah,
who are unaware. Um,
right.
and funny thing just happened to Angela. Stan put in the chat that this is the after chat for Humanity Rising for day 1005, but no,
Wow.
it's not. It's actually Gaia's Zoom room, and I'm very pleased to welcome you to Gaia's Zoom room.
Oh, right. I put that in all the time.
You
It's not
Zoom
real.
all the time, man. I'm not surprised that you don't know where you are. There's very few landmarks. And Jamin is our landmark, and he is asleep. No, he's not. It's okay. You could go back to sleep if you want. Nothing much going on here, except sharing of opinions and whatnot. Yeah. Something else, and I don't want to save it because we might lose Jamin any moment now. I want to tell you guys about what Lisa and I were talking about this space, Gaia's Zoom room, because we need to have a purpose other than just talking and keeping up with each other as best we can. And yes, Jerry, we're working on your event as well, and that's a good thing. And yes, we talk about Humanity Rising and the after chat occasionally. And Patricia, we are talking about Brazil. You know, I love the idea of coming down to visit you. And all things in good time. But meanwhile, what could we be doing here in Gaia's Zoom room? And Lisa has come up with an idea, or we cooked this idea up between us, that the sparkling conversations were pretty good on bringing, Humanity Rising presenters together. The idea that Stan wants to connect the world and getting people of like interests together in order to, cook things more thoroughly. And so it came to mind that we could every month have one Gaia's Zoom room focused on a subject or a category that Stan has in other networks, where we invite some people from the Humanity Rising presenters to come into Gaia's Zoom room and talk about what their passion is. And on the other 3 weeks of the month, we could have a meeting like this, partly where we decide what we're going to be talking about and who we're going to invite. And keeping up with everything and floating our boats. What do you think? Going to you first, Stan.
Well, whatever you decide to do is good with me because it's your room as far as I'm concerned. Even if I might mistake it for other activities. But the preparation for anything like that has to be done. That's all it is required is to prepare the people, prepare the whoever's coming to talk and whoever's coming to listen or participate. So the preparation is very important.
Preparation is extremely important. I completely agree. The person that it would impact most other than me would be Marco.
Mhm.
So I'm going there next. What do you think?
I think it sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I know during our stock we had toyed around a little bit with you had talked briefly about just adding 2 hours to this meeting, and I thought that was sounding like a pretty long night. Yeah. So once a month taking the week sounds like a good idea.
Thank you.
Especially if the 3 days prior to that are also well involved or very well aware of what's being spoken about in that special week. So if it can be prepared well enough to have 3 episodes of the Gaia Zoom room mentioning what's happening on the odd week, that would accelerate the possibility that those people who are there for those 3 weeks would think maybe I should invite somebody to come with me.
Right.
So
So the
Well,
thought is the 3rd Tuesday, so we don't have to stumble. The 3rd Tuesday of the month.
yeah, but what I'm suggesting is the other Tuesdays, there is a confirmation of the 3rd Tuesday and information about what might be happening, what's expected to be happening on that one special day.
Right, so we can go out to our networks, our friends, and
Yeah.
tell them, "Hey,
Yeah.
you should come on the 3rd Tuesday
Right.
because we have so and so and so and so."
Especially if you're inviting a magician who puts money in people's pockets.
That's a nice thought, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, if they
And
can pull rabbits out of a hat, why couldn't they stuff things into people's hats and pockets?
I do like that. I wouldn't hold my
Hmm.
breath, but I do like the idea of making this a more intentional gathering. And the sparkling conversations, well, there was a comment about, it was kind of like throwing spaghetti at a wall and seeing what stuck.
Mhm.
And so, I'm not crazy the, um, about that, how that, landed. So, being more intentional about who we call in for what subjects, I think are really important. And so here's a thought that we might take, 5 minutes, each of us in our own thoughts and in the chat. Um, what subjects would you like for the first 3 sparkling conversations in Gaia's Zoom room? Can you do that? Patricia, you'll need your keyboard.
What do you mean by 3?
Um, um, I
One
want
more than 2?
Yeah, of
one
course.
more than 2. Yeah, I want 3 ideas about
Three
subjects.
separate months apart?
No, no, no. I want 3 ideas from each of you so that I can put them all into a hat. And then we can talk about them. And maybe there'll be one that has more than one person that brings that idea up. And so, I'm just inviting the ideas.
If I understand what you're asking for, because really it has to be, if you're asking for ideas for themes or individual sessions, or, I mean, ideas of how it flows when they come here, or what? I don't understand what you want to say.
Okay. Jerry, when you look into the chat at this moment, Jamin has put in 3 ideas.
I see that.
That's the kind of thing that I'm looking for. I don't want you to look at his ideas. I want you to come up with your own. On the other hand, if you like some of his, why not put it? That would be like voting, and I like that idea. And so let's see what we get.
It came to me right now, something that I am part of in Pachamama Alliance, which is they started something completely new, which is circle of conversations, to listen to one another. Basically, so there are small groups, from Brazil, from Mexico, from here, from there. And the idea is for conversations to happen. And of course, it's related to their 3 pillars, which are mine also, which when I read James, it sort of fits in there, which is spiritual, social, and environmental. The 3 areas that are basic for Pachamama Alliance, as the pillars of, the social justice, the spiritual, and the environmental are the 3 areas that are approached. And somehow, to me, is also something that how do we bring in those 3 aspects to this world right now? Basically, it's so important to look at those 3 areas, like James put there about, food for all, the justice, the spiritual, but those are the 3 areas that I would focus on as well. So I don't know.
Okay. And I've put you in to my list, but you're more than welcome to add your list. And so thank you, Jamin. Thank you, Jerry. I like that. And there's mine. And so I have this little tool. It's auto-saved. Okay. AI companion. Ask admin to enable AI companion. I thought I had an AI companion. Maybe that's it. Meeting questions, meeting summary have been enabled. Meeting questions. Well, I don't want to go to other places. This is part of one of the reasons why on my list I have AI and how to use it to support our work, because I come against these moments when I'm in the middle of a meeting and I would like it to tell me the results of what I've asked. Jamin has a fourth idea. It's time for him to go to bed. Well, I think that's a lovely idea, Jamin, and you're here just in time to say goodnight to Tammy Hay and her fella. Sweet dreams, fella.
Have,
Are
have a
you going
good
to bed,
night.
Jamin?
Yeah, it's 3:30 in the morning here in Brussels, Belgium.
Mhm.
And
Oh.
so
Are you
I
speaking
stayed
to
up
the
to,
EU Parliament?
oh, yeah, I'll be addressing the EU tomorrow. Anyway, but first I have to undress myself and go to bed. Anyway, love you all. Great to
Please
see
turn your
you.
camera off before you do so. And sweet dreams, my friend. All the best
Sleep
for
well.
tomorrow.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, good night. My love to Melissa.
Thanks, Jamin.
I can't take him anywhere.
You can't. No, no. You
You can
try.
undress him up, but you can't take him anywhere.
Undress him.
Yeah, you can undress him, but you can't take him anywhere. Oh my. And welcome, Tammy. It's lovely to see you. And who is this with you?
This is my beloved Paul.
Hello, Paul. Nice to meet
Hello.
you.
You too.
We're just talking about a possibility for focus for this gathering that I have every Tuesday night here. Back in August, I was part of Earthstock, and I created something called the Sparkling Conversations, which were, are you familiar with them, Tammy?
Yeah, well, I was part of
Of course you were.
one. Right, yeah.
Yeah, I have half a brain. It sometimes works. So,
Okay, you've been busy. Tuesdays are busy for you.
yeah, they are. So the idea is to have a small version of the Sparkling Conversations on the third Tuesday. Have presenters from Humanity Rising come in and have conversations together. And there's Joan has arrived. And so what I've asked everybody to do is give 3 ideas for subjects that people could talk about. And it gives me a bunch of ideas that I can work on. And if we have more than one idea, that's if one of the more ideas, the better. However, if more than one person says the same thing, then the idea has more weight. So while you're thinking and writing your 3 ideas into the chat, I will go to Blue Cosmic Eagle, my beloved friend. Joan, it's lovely to see you.
Hello, it's great to see you.
It's great to have you here. As Jamin or Marco would say, the meeting's been great so far, but with you here now,
Now it's perfect.
Oh, thank you. And it's perfect to see all of you.
yeah. So what we're doing, Joan, I think I mentioned to you the third Tuesday being the Sparkling Conversation idea. So I've asked that everybody come up with 3 ideas for conversations and put them in the chat. So I've got something to work with. And so I would love you to do that.
I'll work on that. Thank you.
Thank you. I could go and find some music now for you, or I could just hum.
Oh, music is lovely.
No, you do love music.
I play music.
All the time. Now you need to listen to the music of the blood rushing through your veins.
Oh dear. I'll try.
Okay, I'm going to look at some of these ideas. I think Tammy Hay is thinking about it. All right. I think I'm going to have to get rid of my
Virtual background.
how do I do that?
Under
More.
video, you'll see background.
All right. No, that's not funny enough. It's lovely. You need to turn your mic on. There you go.
I've done that. So not funny enough for you, huh? I don't know. Yeah.
Well, when you came out with it, we didn't all laugh, so there must be something wrong.
Oh, well, that's a good point. Let me see if I can find something better.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Hi, Stanley.
Hello.
It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you. And you have a funny hat on.
Oh,
Yes,
me?
she does. Yes, you.
Yes.
It's not a hat. It's a
toque. It's a hat. It goes on your head. It's a hat.
Yeah, I know, but it's not a hat.
No, that's a hat. That's
Yeah.
a hat for a Irish gremlin person.
Yes, an Irish gremlin person or a
I am
leprechaun.
Irish. Oh my gosh, you are.
New Yorker. I like Marco's elfin hat.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
very
have a
good.
point. You always have a point. Yes.
Very good. I actually wear my hat because my headphones will fall off if I don't.
That's a very good reason.
It keeps it on because they're a little bit bigger than my head.
All right. So let's go through these together if we shall we may? Damon, before he went off to bed, collective human intelligence, cooling the planet, and feeding everyone. Now, these are the drums that he beats all the time. And I think that they're very good. And I do believe that we may have a selection of speakers who would be able to speak to those issues. What do you think, Stan?
Well, I'm going to add one more, so I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I love input.
Type slowly.
Okay. And Jerry, thank you so much for your suggestions. Unity, that's a good one. Regenerative systems, connecting allied groups. Yes. Regenerative systems. Were you thinking about agricultural or?
Yes,
Yes.
agricultural and many regenerative systems that the Native Americans have that we could take advantage of.
That's an interesting perspective to bring in. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, it would be nice to actually, if you wrote them out, Jerry.
Well, no, it's written in the chat. You
Oh,
just
it
can't
is.
see it. Yeah, because you came in late.
Right.
This is the price you pay, and that's one of the reasons why I'm reading them out.
Good.
What's also good is that I have my ally, or ally, my AI help, who will be able to analyze all of these. And so, yeah, so this is kind of fun. We're going to give Allie a good workout. So, going on from there, Angela has some really good ideas. I really like the consciousness of water. We had Hope Fitzgerald, and she was wonderful. And then during Earthstock, we had some people from the Dr. Emoto's group came and had a presentation. So maybe we could get them. And then her third suggestion is networking and collaboration, which is kind of what we're doing here. But yeah, talking about networking and collaboration, I think is, we could get Stan on that conversation.
Well, I put in a new idea, an extra fourth idea.
Good.
Could have a discussion around using the chat for collective intelligence.
I do feel that that is what we're doing.
Of course, we're doing it, but that's an idea for a presentation. It's an idea for a workshop, an idea for a Tuesday.
I like it.
Doesn't have to fly. I mean, it's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
Along with all these other suggestions, I think it's a stand-up concept.
Yeah, it is. We developed Education 2.0 between us, you and I, Stanley.
How do we do?
The after chat. We make it work.
Okay.
Doesn't always work the way everybody expects it to, but it works. Okay, so Angela, do you have any input on what you put in there?
I can. I don't know. I watched the consciousness of water the other day. It's just really hitting me hard. I do a lot of energy work, and I work with a lot of different energies. And I don't know, spirituality and the consciousness of water, the things that I do, it just kind of collaborates with what I do. So, and networking and collaboration, we have to do that. We have to come together as a community in order to collaborate, because that's what they've been trying to do. They've been trying to separate us. So thank goodness for things like Zoom, StreamYard, all the other platforms that are out there that can bring us together as a community. So that's why we can collaborate and network together, because all of us have access to so many different resources, so much different information, and we need to be able to share that with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we really do. So,
yeah.
And, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of us have probably been by ourselves a lot and kept all that information to ourselves. And we did all the research, we've done all the things, and then all of a sudden Spirit's going, hey, you guys are supposed to share this with everybody. So yeah, we really need to share that kind of stuff out there.
Absolutely. Great idea, Angela. Thank you. Stan, I see you've got your hand up. What do you got to say?
I would like to use this opportunity to distinguish collaboration from cooperation. Those are two things that get intermixed in our minds, and it's very rare that I hear anybody realizing that they are different things and they have different purposes. Cooperation is easy. A group of people like this can make suggestions, contact you later. All sorts of things can go on in terms of cooperation. Collaboration is a much more focused concept, and usually involves having a set of goals, or one goal that one or more people can have it and work on it together. They can collaborate on that goal. Cooperation doesn't need a goal. It can work with a goal, but it doesn't tie all the cooperators into a structure as collaboration tries to do. So I love these ideas, and every once in a while something pops up in my uh, internet browsing, and I had a whole paper, a whole scholarly paper on the difference between collaboration and cooperation, and I read the whole thing. So now you get to suffer from that too.
Well done. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to leave mine for last. Going to Marco's. Marco suggests sustainable building with local materials. That's a great idea. Local foraging and Regenitech and the Earth Power Lodge. All right, Marco, you have to come and talk to us. Marco?
Yeah, Regenitech and Earth Power Lodge, that's the extension after the movie The Need to Grow. That's the company that's carrying forth that work.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That
It would really be nice if we could get Michael Smith to come himself, and that's a possibility.
really,
Yeah.
I would want to be a part of that. I would collaborate for that. Yeah, yeah, more than cooperate. Thank you very much. That's an amazing idea, Marco, and I really would like to support that as soon as possible. Any third Tuesday, you tell me when he wants to come. Thank you.
See what I can do. I've been kind of dragging my feet on connecting to him. He's working with like the engineering students at University of Alberta.
Really?
They're working, trying to get at least one of the biodomes built at the university.
Well, he should come to Kamloops next. I'm just saying, it would be wonderful. So thank you so much, Marco. He's not that far from me. So we're going to go on to Stan's ideas next, and we've got women in business. I like that. And any business in particular? That's a very broad subject.
Yeah, being affected by a recent pop-up YouTube kind of thing that I saw with a very high energy woman being a leader in the community and have it be part of a business. So there's a lot of ways to go. There's a very broad concept. And I have a friend that I haven't seen very often who I just wrote to, and she wrote back and said, "Yes, I'm still alive." And but I'm not doing as interesting things as I would like to. So that might be fun to talk to her some more.
Mm-hmm.
And funny hats. Well, we already proved how that works.
Yes. And helpful tips for running meetings. Yeah,
Mhm.
well, yeah. And I would like to add that in with the AI
Mhm.
because this is actually for me, it's a bleeding edge. Um, because I want to know how to use AI to make my meetings better. And yeah,
Yeah.
so
Well, that's just one part of somebody's presentation, and there's lots and lots of others. The incredible power of oh, it's right here. The book's right here. Liberating
and
Structures.
you're next, Tammy. Yeah.
So there's a wonderful book that has about 35 exercises that people can plan to do and then foist on their audience
Oh,
to to extract certain kinds of information, to create opportunities for people to talk to each other. There's a lot of different ways to go in the Liberating Structure book. And I happen to have copied a good chunk of that book into Wikidelphia, my other website, where I point to the paragraphs on their website. The people, the publishers of the Liberating Structure book, put their whole book on the internet for people to peruse. And I went as I put that together, I started making notes about my own ideas for what can happen in these different activities. And yeah,
yeah. And sometimes it just takes being open to the ideas that are coming in from a source. And thus, we're in this little exercise. And I'd like to get Tammy while she's on screen because she
Oh,
goes
just
away
let me
every once
mention
in a
the
while.
title of that book. It's the surprising power of liberating structures. I'll put that in the chat.
The surprising power of liberating structures. All right. Tammy, of course you would have food sovereignty and veganic gardening at the forefront of your list. I'm not surprised.
There's a really good summit coming up on veganic gardening by some experts, and there's a lot of really interesting Canadian people that have been doing this as well. And one of my favorite is Helen Athro, and she has been well, she's a biologist, a leading researcher in veganic gardening, and she shows that not using animals as a way to regenerate land, but using just the nature itself, like allowing the wild animals to come in, they it really keeps the pests in check because they naturally know what to do. And so I would like to talk a little bit about veganic gardening and food sovereignty and how we really do have enough food to feed the world easily if we're not using it to feed animals.
Yeah.
And we have enough food like 10 to 14 times over, depending on how we're doing it. And there's a lot of very cruel practices even in organic gardening. So yeah, just something to talk about. And we're coming to a world of peace. How can we do it with the least amount of harm?
Yeah.
Grow our
And free, I notice your free plant food for all.
Well, part of the grandmother's mission is to, and Jamin talks about it a lot, is to love all, feed all, and part of the grandmother's mission, we have something on a Climate Healers website, Unity Stew, and that it's very easy to make. It's very nutrition dense, and to show up with this massive pot of soup and just feed people wherever you are. So it's just, I mean, everyone, it's a human right to have food. And so,
um,
yeah.
when you said free plant food, I was thinking you were going to feed the plants. And so I came up with, Michael Smith might be interested in that because he does biochar and whatnot, and so he knows how to feed plants. So it's plant-based food.
Yeah. Is
what you're
Michael Smith in Colorado? I think I interviewed him years ago. Did
Well,
he build some really cool little self-sustaining structure? Is that who Michael Smith is?
Yeah.
I know it. I interviewed him. He's actually, I quoted him in one of my books, I think Earth Gut. Yeah,
Nice.
he's a super interesting man. What was his technology called again?
I'm gonna go to Marco for that, but I can't hear him.
They call them Earth Power Lodge. It was, from the
Right, Earth Power Lodge.
the need to grow. They made those incredibly efficient biochar mechanisms, and it uses LJ ponds, which feed biodigesters,
Right.
and
His
there's the
website.
biochar, and the that produces a rich fertilizer, and the biochar, which is good for soils, and the byproduct of doing that creates the byproduct, the waste product is electricity that they can then use to power homes in the area.
And I was so inspired by the Earth Power Lodge. It was such an amazing concept. I had to go looking for Michael, and I did find him, and I reached out to him a couple of times because I imagined, the Our Heart Gardens having one of those at in every one of them, and Patricia's got her hand up. Come on in. I can't hear you.
Wait, there we go, because I have my phone here, so it's not easy to move around. Sorry, I interrupted the talk because I know that I don't know how long my eyes will stay open because I get
Oh,
sleep because it's already 11 o'clock here
yeah.
at night. But anyways, there was two things. One thing I wrote there, aside from the Pachamama areas that I like, one thing that I think is very important is economy, a conversation about, and the new paradigm of our economy, there's so many, like Charles Eisenstein talks about, one type of economy and blah, blah, blah. But then it also comes to me the importance that I haven't heard here being shared is about our own temples, our bodies, that reflect the environment, as within as without, how do we, it seems like, we have to address ourselves, like I'm a inner alchemy teacher, right? Qigong and blah, blah, blah. And we talk about the elements, the organs, but it's exactly what's outside there, the elements and what the outside, environment is there, the seasons of the year, how do we respond to that in our inner cycle? You know a little bit about that, right, Shannon? So to go through, to bring something of that area also, because it's talking about oneself. If I'm not balanced, if I don't have a good, my water is really taking good care of the wood, the fire, and blah, 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 all around my body, I'm going to be an awful person out there. I'm not going to be able to contribute. So how do I work within to be able to bring to this world? Like I went to a company and I talked to them about their different departments. If they're not talking to one another well, if there's not an integration there, the company will never move on. We have to listen to one another. The same thing with our organs. So it came to me that maybe that would be a topic also to be explored, where we can go within to, we have to observe the environment. The Taoists did that perfectly well. They observed the environment and saw the correspondence of that within our own structure, our bodies, right? So maybe that's a topic that could be developed somewhere along with the economy and other stuff that we can call Charles Eisenstein to talk with us about that. Okay.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? Is there any possibility that you could put that into the chat?
I already put it.
Oh, where?
In the chat.
In the chat. She's already put it in the. I want Patchman newcomer. One more. Body inner work, reflecting the environment. Taoist inner alchemy, within as outside. Got it. Of course. Thank you so much.
And the economy, I can talk to Charles Eisenstein because I have he's a good friend of mine, so I can see how we can get him in here.
Well, and I was just at the new human regeneration meeting, and it was that event was just wow.
Yeah, he is amazing. He is amazing. So
between him and Zach Bush, oh my gosh. I mean, I was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. I wish you could send me the link of that conversation. I would have You know, if there's a Zoom, I'd love to see it
Well,
now.
well, it was 3 days. So,
Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
yeah, I was in heaven for 3 days, and truly, it was wonderful. And Marco, you have put a whole bunch of stuff in the chat. What is all that?
I did label at the afterwards that they are all PDFs that have information on the power lodges.
Okay. The first
You
one
know,
seems
like power, like construction, their business model and things like that.
I'm getting temporary error of 404 on those. It says, "We're sorry, but your account is temporarily unavailable. We apologize for the inconvenience and suggest trying again in a few minutes."
Yeah, I was gonna say I tried them all, clicking on them in the chat and they open for me.
It's me. What does that mean?
You.
I don't understand. Well. Oh, I got into the fourth one, the Calgary Biodome. Well, it's good that I can get into something.
There's a Calgary biodome?
Apparently. EPL construction explained, EPL earth regenerator system, input output, and story business model, tech story business, Regenitech story business model.
Awesome. Thank you for all that information.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You got into them okay?
Yeah, I
Yeah, it's
did.
just me.
I'm gonna reach out to him again.
Yeah. That's he's a very interesting man. Yeah, the idea of Our Heart Gardens is, in the heart of communities, you have a place where you gather and you grow good kids and good food, and you have a source of power. And I saw it as part of that, and it was, it was genius, and I would really like to see that happen. And Angela, you can only get into the Calgary one as well. Interesting. It's not just me. I'm so glad you tried. It's very weird.
Yeah.
It's given me the same error that it gave you.
It's comforting. Thank
Interesting.
you. Yeah. Yeah. I have. Shall I copy it and put it in the chat? The error message that I got, Marco?
Um,
Would it be of any value?
yeah, I know what a 404 error looks like. I don't know. I get them often enough. I don't know what to do about it.
No. No, I don't know what to do about it either. I'll just ignore it for now.
What I can do is, what can I do differently? Don't know.
Okay. So, that is high on my list of desires, for a sparkling conversation. The consciousness of water is another one that really, for me, is very interesting. There is a feeling in me that water is the repository, the memory bank of humanity, and perhaps of Mother Gaia. And it is where the regulation of her body happens. So it is kind of her brain. But I don't know, it just seems more alive. That's like the soft parts of her body, the same way we have soft parts of our bodies, and the mountains are her bones. And you know, our perceptions create this shared existence. But her existence is different, and it just manifests in this way through our perceptions. I don't know. I don't know. Do you have a certain cosmology that, Tammy, that you have your perceptions about what the earth is and how we are related to her, and what we are and what is the one we are? Do you have something like that?
Yeah, I think I wrote a lot about it in my first book. It's called Earth Gut, the story of peace, love, and microbes. And I made the connection between, I mean, microbes were here first, right? And they inform us. And I did my master's thesis on the microbiome, and they actually are one of our most ancient connections with the earth. The bacteria, fungi, parasites, and yeast that are mostly beneficial to us. So when they're healthy, when we're well connected and we're partaking in a earth that is praised and not poisoned, so we're eating food that's living, and as Zach Bush talks about, going to breathe as many biomes as you can. I refer to Zach Bush a lot in there because I studied with him a lot while I was writing Earth Gut. And I believe that I had a lot of gut issues as a child because my mother was taken away from me. She had a brain aneurysm when I was 10 days old, and they put me on carnation evaporated milk, and it's really an off breast milk right on. And I was so sick. That's what they had in the house, I guess. And I lived kind of in the bush, and I was pretty sick. I guess I cried 24/7, and it was the beginning of a lot of gut issues. But my saving grace was I spent all my time on the earth and digging in the dirt. And I think that just kept my gut, working and working and working until I hit an all-time stress when I was around 40, and I ended up getting Crohn's, and I was able to heal it completely and write about it and share about it. And I just really believe our gut is the epicenter of the earth. And that's how we connect. And I think that's why a lot of people are so disconnected from the earth, is because their gut is so extremely dysbiotic, and their gut is reflecting the earth that they've partaken in. So I guess I don't know if that's what you mean, but if I have any cosmology of how I see myself and the world and how we relate, it's through the microbes that were here first.
Interesting. That makes me think that the probiotics that we take could be pivotal in how we relate in the world.
Yeah, to some degree. Like probiotics, kind of like they throw a whole bunch of one strain in there, and we have so many different strains. Prebiotics are better, and so that's all your plant fiber and diversity of plant fiber. And then also what Zach Bush recommends is a really ancient humic fulvic acid, and that feeds the good stuff and helps rebalance. And the other thing that I recommend is something called EM1, and it stands for effective microorganisms. And that's kind of like it's kind of like a fertilizer for what is there that's good. And instead of just throwing, like, let's say, a whole bunch of lactobacillus strain in there. But the one thing I do maybe recommend as far as probiotics go is that a lot of people, if they didn't start out well, there's a probiotic that a lot of people seem to do well with, and it's called a line. And it's, you can kind of get it all over the place, but it's Lactobacillus infidus. So it's like one that people often miss out on when they're infants. So it's Lactobacillus infidus. Yeah.
Thank you.
And yeah.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And someone who snuck in when I wasn't looking, Azza is here. Welcome, Azza. Good to see you. When you decide to turn on your camera, and that's okay. You don't have to turn it on. Marco has his hand up, so I'm going to go to Marco.
Yeah, I just had a question. I stepped away for a minute, so I kind of lost what you were saying, Tammy, talking about probiotics. My understanding is, and from my research, what I've been learning is that you can take all the probiotics you want if you don't have prebiotics. I don't know if you touched on that they need food, and it doesn't do you a lot of good to take a lot of probiotics if you don't have prebiotics to feed them.
Yeah, good. Yes. Yes, Joan.
I just wanted to bring up one thing that I read recently about probiotics, that not to get probiotics in a plastic container. It should be in glass, and it makes a big difference.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I was just reading through it because I take probiotics, and unfortunately I didn't realize, well, it's in a plastic container. And I was reading this thing about probiotics, and they said the safest way and the best way is to have them in a glass jar, to buy them in a glass jar. So
Wow.
the plastic itself is probably a little bit more dangerous or whatever.
Yeah, to the little beasties.
Yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Well, it seems the smaller the animal, the more the particles would bother them. And there's no particles from glass,
Right.
but there would be particles from plastics.
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting. I am so thrilled with the people who come and play with me here in Gaia's Zoom room. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, Patricia, you're still awake. You lovely person. I think that's wonderful.
Just was thinking about water can I say something before?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about when you were mentioning about water,
Mhm.
and as I refer to the inner alchemy here, we are mostly water, right? And water represents in this tradition, and which I think it makes so much sense, is when it's out of place, there's fear. It's related to the kidneys and to the sexual area. It's water, and the element water is the main one there, and it's fear. So like liver is anger and etc. We have to deal with these emotions, because otherwise we affect our water becomes dirty water, dirty, and or the water in our body just doesn't move around correctly because there's lots of blockages. So I think it's important to really look within and find the same element. What does water, why are we having so much floods here in Brazil, in the southern part of Brazil, huge floods? The water is just, absolutely going, nuts, just as
Yeah.
fire is happening also. So those elements, but it has to do with us. We're the ones that reflect, the anger, the hatred, and the fear. And that's like a system that wants to install these elements within us. And outside, we're seeing the same thing, floods all over, fires all over the place. So,
Yeah.
I like that, I think it's important to check out this correlation of our inner temple with what's outside there. And the water is basic.
Well, they do say as within, so without.
Yep.
And the people who say those things do not say them lightly. And so what does that actually mean? What that means is if you want the outside to calm the down, then you need to calm down. And we
Exactly.
have control over our emotions. We choose how we feel. Now, grief can get the better of us. And choosing to bypass grief can cause you grief. But you can bypass anger.
Yeah, the question is not bypassing, it's transmuting it. That's what they say,
Transmuting.
which I love it because it's like if I if I work on it, it becomes how do you say in English? Adobe. Um, uh, it's good food, it's like, you prepare the leftovers and then from there you put it on the garden. The same thing with our negative emotions. When they are transmuted, they work, and bring in the generosity, the forgiveness, the calmness, the serenity, so it's a concept that I love. It's not that you're getting rid of it. To the contrary, it can help if you transmute it, being, good nutrients for the Mother Earth and us,
Okay.
Hey, this
What?
is Aza, and
Aza.
hi. Yeah, it's late for me, and I'm really tired, so I'm sorry. I don't have my light on. I was just in a dark area of my house, but I just want to say something about what you're saying, Patricia. Beautiful wisdom. Totally agree. I feel like anger is the superficial level of grief. Like when you were saying, Shannon, about transforming, and you, Patricia's transmuting. I personally have throughout my life anger management challenges. And I find that when I express my anger in a way that's not going to hurt anybody or myself, sometimes it can be hurtful, but I am working on it. That ultimately I'll go to a place where I'm just really sad. Some things are just angering and they don't have the sadness, but most things are just deep, deep sadness about something that's going on. And I also want to make a comment about the outside inside thing, which is that yes, there are reflections and we're like one whole unit, but we have to also take into consideration that the outside forces, evil ones, I believe, I feel, I write about it in my book, they create a certain energy and they're attempting to mind control us such that we have to consciously struggle to call in love and light and healing and transmutation of the things that not only are within us, but they are trying to superimpose upon us. And I've been doing a lot of studying about that since I told you last week about my daughter. I had a little talk with Jerry, and I've been doing a lot of studying. I got involved with, I'm listening to a very intense audiobook called Trance, Formation. And it's all about the mind control starting in the 40s with MK Ultra, Monarch, all these different psyops that specific people are very victim to and are actually sex slaves for our government. And then that's what this woman's book is about. And how the rest of us, they're, controlling us for what they want us to become in the future. And all these weather things, though, again, of course, we're all one unit and everything affects everything, but they are definitely manipulating the weather. There is very clear evidence that you're using.
What's the name? Excuse me. What's the name of the book you said?
Oh, trance, trance. Like you go into a trance,
Okay.
and then formation. So instead of spelling transformation as one word with an S and no E after, it's a C,
Okay, I got it.
trans,
Thank you.
and then another word, formation. It's an audio book, thank God, because I'm not good at reading books for a long time because I often fall asleep. I do have on the audiobook too, but it's a little easier. It's a fascinating book. Oh my God. I have been be prepared for a huge awakening when you read this.
I hear you, Aza, and I understand the fascination, and I want to caution you by getting deep into these fascinating books that are dark. You are putting yourself at risk, I believe. You because you become because I have I have read books that take me down dark paths. And because it's audio and you're listening to it as you're going to sleep, this is programming your brain, my girl.
Okay, I disagree with you. I'm not listening to it when I go to sleep. I do
Oh,
not
okay.
believe it's bringing me down dark alleys. Maybe that's your experience, and that's fine. I'm not denying your experience. That's not my experience. This is
Okay.
actually really helping me because my dark thing that I've been going through is what the hell's happened to my daughter, who was kidnapped by
Yes.
Child Protective Services and came out as a completely transformed child. And that's my dark path. This is lighting the way for me to comprehend and understand and put all the pieces together. So though I appreciate what you're saying, Shannon, and it is something for you to say and learn, that's not my experience. And thank you for letting me have that little outburst.
Yeah, I don't go there because I respect the power within those books.
Well, I go there because I respect the power in those books.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't need to go there, and you have had the path to take you to a
Yes.
need
Yes,
for
I
it.
need
And
to, right. Yes,
yeah,
and
I'm
it's
not
helping.
saying you're wrong. I'm just saying careful. And
Okay.
it sounds like
We'll
you are.
take your cautionary advice. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. All right. So I want to say thank you, all of you, for offering me your ideas on this sparkling conversation. And I look forward to working on that. And Tammy, you're going to go and get some shut-eye, are you?
Yeah, I'm going to meditate a bit. I had a really full day. Thank you. This was great being here, and blessings, everyone. And Patricia, we're going to have a conversation soon. We're going to connect. Patricia and I are ready to connect.
Excellent.
Okay, great. We'll go to sleep together right now because I'm also on my way.
Okay.
Okay.
Blessings, everyone.
Yes,
Blessings.
actually, for such a short time, but I am also very tired. I just wanted to check in for a minute. I'm gonna leave too.
Okay, lovely to have you with us, Asa.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. And so it's just Joan and Angela, and hey, we're very nicely balanced. We got 3 guys and 3 gals. Yeah. Thank you so much for being a part of Gaia's Zoom room tonight. Yeah. Marco, did you bring enough for everyone?
Gracias. Delicioso.
Right on, what she said.
Yeah, that's why I was off camera.
Yeah,
Mm.
I understand. So the surprising power of liberating structures. Stanley, would you talk to us about that? Just a little bit. You need to activate your mic first.
It's a collection of well-constructed ideas about ways for people to be brought through each one is specific to a task. And I should probably bring up my website that I can read from, but I have I was invited to participate in I guess it was about a year-long series of 1 day a week um, instruction and participation with a group of people that were studying uh, these structures. See? And they're like parlor games in a sense. And sometimes they are very, very serious. And so a person be working with two other people, then one is one attitude and one is another attitude, and those are being counselors to the person being helped with this process. So that's one of these kinds of things. The most famous of their activities is called 1, 2, 4, all. And so that's one person thinks about something and writes it down, and then gets to talk with another person, and they think about what it is that they're thinking. And then 4, but they get to meet up with another pair. So 1, 2, 4, all. And then after the 4 are together, then the whole group starts hearing from the groups of 4 and what it is that they were talking about. And often enough, it'll have a theme. I mean, the people organizing the session, whatever it might be, might suggest a particular theme for these. It's sort of like meditations. 1, 2, 4, all. You think about something by yourself, and then you work on it with somebody else, and then 2 other people join you, and they have also been thinking about this sort of the similar thing, and then you report back to the group. So that's probably the easiest one to run because I just explained it, and you just tell people what we're talking about, and then say, okay, think about this by yourself, and then get together with somebody else. And I mean, if you want, I can start looking at the book.
No.
And no,
Not
okay.
necessary. Not
Thank you.
necessary. Yeah.
Well, if you would like to find out more about the liberating structures on Wikidelphia, I have a whole section, a whole bunch of pages just specifically devoted to each one of the liberating structures.
Interesting.
Yes, they're a facilitation process. Each is separate, but they can be worked together. So one of the activities that the group, there's a group out of Washington, D.C. that has a monthly meeting to study the liberating structures. And you can get on their mailing list and be invited to those learning activities. And the structures, each individual one might be joined forces with another or 2 others and become a beginning, middle, and end of a workshop. So the specific structures could be fit together, and they talk about that kind of stuff in the book.
Nice. Do you know anybody who, yeah, you said Washington, they're doing something like that.
They have a group that's online that I haven't seen an email from them in a while, so I don't know if they're still active.
Yeah.
And I about a month or 2 ago, I don't remember just when, I'm sorry that I didn't follow up better. The person that was leading this group here in Philadelphia I contacted him and I suggested that we talk more, and he liked whatever I was saying, and it just, like I said, I didn't follow up further. So I'd like to get back with him because he's a font of um, intelligence about meetings and people. So we'd like to get him to think about what else he could do um, with some of the other things that I have in my universe, which is kind of silly because I get bogged down. When I look at what I have in Wikidelphia or in other networks, it's too much. I can't, I have to put it down and say, oh, okay, time to take a nap. It's too much to think about.
Yeah.
Which is really sad because I really should be putting all this to work, but that's not as easy as it sounds.
No, it's not. It's not easy at all.
Mhm.
And but yeah, none of it's easy. But I wanted to, we were talking about, other communities and the strength of weak ties. And so I wanted to tell you, I followed Bruce Robinson's invitation to go to the New Paradigm. Sorry, what's the New Paradigm? Just a second. New Paradigm Navigators.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Um, well, I'm on their list now.
Okay.
So I went to their event, and it was quite interesting. What was nice about it, from my perspective, was that they had a meeting. They had a big event in Oxford. Now, I visited Oxford with Ian Lewis when I was in the UK. And so I got to see parts of Oxford again, the university there, and they were all buzzing about how amazing it was, and I kind of basked in that feeling for a little bit, and they talked, oh, and I got to tell them about my experience of coming there and seeing Oxford, and then going up to Broughton Hill and joining Peter Mary's Making Weird the Norm, and that was it was so much in keeping with who they are, that it felt really, really good. I want to the New Paradigm Navigators, they're a new subgroup of the scientific and medical network that Bruce is a part of. They believe it's important to offer a safe and dynamic environment for the next generation of spiritual scientists to showcase and discuss their research, projects, and interests. As such, they developed a cooperative inquiry to ask us, the next generation of postgrads and affiliates, of which I am not, how we felt and how we would want to engage with transforming our communities in these uncertain times. Their group was born from that cooperative inquiry. So they have quite a number of people involved. And I found them to be quite interesting, articulate, and a pleasure to be in a Zoom room with. So that was my morning after Humanity Rising and the after chat. It was supposed to be Ton and Anne at 11 o'clock, but I did them instead. Ton and Anne, I appreciate their meeting. Of course, it's like 6 o'clock in the evening for them, but 11 o'clock in the morning for me, because they're way off in Portugal. But they do a nice meditation, and at 11 o'clock in the morning, I'm not of a mind to meditate. Yeah, so that's the way it was. So we're not married to the 8 o'clock at night. It has been lovely to have you all join me. If you guys want to carry on, I've got a lot from this meeting. Uh, the uh, the chat, I have to save the chat. Where's the chat? I know it's here somewhere. Chat. Yeah. I do
On
want.
my screen, they moved the chat to the bottom. It was
They
on the
did. Thank
top, and
Yeah.
not on the right. It's in the middle.
Well, they changed mine to participants can chat with, but it doesn't have. What's that? That's that, and that's what's that? Oh, that gives me a desktop. I don't want that.
Yeah, you had the wrong 3 dots. That's at the bottom of participants. It's below that as the next 3 dots is the one for the chat.
Sorry, there is nothing down there. I have a to everyone, a type message here, and then text attributes, and then a document that takes me to my Finder. Then I get emojis, and then I get participants can chat with, the 3 dots. And there are no other 3 dots. So maybe if I go to chat, show chat previews, chat, no, show chat previews.
Are you on a iPad?
No, I'm on my computer that was taken over by Ali.
Hmm.
And I can't, I don't know how to ask it to copy the chat. So I will open the transcript document and see what it's doing. See if I can go to the bottom of this. It should be at the top, shouldn't it?
In transcript?
Apparently in the tactic transcript, it goes on the bottom.
Oh, you're using a. I see what you're doing. Okay.
Well, yeah, I wish I did.
So you're not looking in the. Oh,
No,
wait.
I'm not in the
Zoom.
Zoom environment anymore. But
Hmm.
how am I supposed to copy the chat? Add to space, export email, copy link, share, write, rename. That's not an archive. Huh.
Isn't there, let me see,
How do I
a
copy?
record, well, you're recording, aren't, or you're not recording?
I am recording.
So if you're recording, then what you're talking about is in the recording.
Yes, but the chat. Oh, the chat isn't a separate file that goes along with it, isn't it?
I'm not really absolutely sure about that, but
Actually, I think if you recorded to the cloud, which you did, the chat might even play along with the recording.
yeah.
Oh. Okay.
But I can also send you the chat.
Okay. That would be good. I would
You said
appreciate.
Ollie was your AI?
Yeah.
He's mine.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well, you know, I had Amy.
I know, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Alex told me about the AIs, and so I went on and I chose Ollie. This was like probably a month or two ago.
really? Oh, I love that. Well,
Yeah.
you see, I had Amy. She was my ChatGPT AI assistant, and I really liked her naming her that because Amy is French for friend. So I had Amy, and then I hit the wall, and the paywall, and I didn't want to pay
Mm,
16 bucks a month.
yeah.
And so I went looking for another alternative. And um, yeah, a tactic came to mind after I had checked out Gemini and um, Perplexity. And so Tactic seemed to be doing exactly what I wanted it to do. And then I installed it, and I felt like it was longer Ally, it was Ali, as in Alibaba and the 40 thieves, because they got moved right in and took over.
It's hilarious.
Oh, good. That was my purpose.
Very good. Very
Well, thank
good.
you so much. Well, now I have to figure out where I'm supposed to change my. Oh, it's under more. Under more, I have settings. And under settings, I have
Hmm,
background and background. There we go.
that's interesting.
All these things we're learning. We have put Stan to sleep. He needs his sleep.
Mm,
Yeah. So I think we should close up shop and allow everybody to get some sleep.
it was lovely.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of my reality.
And you for being a part of our reality.
Angela, I hope you got that. We're sending you loves and kisses, and my gratitude to all for all of your ideas. And I do believe that well, next week we have Steve Nathan coming in to tell us about his trip to Reno and pitching to all of the impact investors. And I honor you, Stan, for saying you're not looking for an investor because they want their money back. And I'm not here to siphon money from the people who follow this. I want the money to be siphoned from all of those um, storehouses of the ginormous amounts of money that people who don't need it have it. Um, it's there to fuel the transformation, and I'm here for the transformation. So, and we're doing it by being together and talking together and creating good environments because our bubbles rub up shoulders with next bubbles, and then the bubbles pop together and we become bigger bubbles. And so I do feel that the media alliance that the evolutionary leaders came up with is a very good idea. I just don't know how to get myself into that. But I already am up to my eyebrows, so I can't really follow up too much in that. So thank you all for being here, and give my love to Alex Blue.
I will. Thank you. He's
And
over there fighting with his new
oh, that's
model.
no good for him. And my love to all of you and all of your families and all your loved ones. And if everybody would like to come in for a moment before we close up, shall we start with Angela?
Oh, sure. Yeah, and thank you for letting me be here and be a part of this great network. And I'm looking forward to many more days of cooperation and collaboration.
Well, I'm honored that you have found us and that you feel that this is time well spent. I know that I feel it's time well spent. Um, I hope that Michael decides to come and play with us sometime. And thank you for being what Stan would call a weak tie, which is actually a really wonderful thing. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Absolutely. You're welcome here. And Stan, would you like to have a last say? You'd have to activate your microphone.
Here we go. Strength of Weak Ties talks about weak and strong ties. Weak ties, information travels farther. Strong ties brings people together in small, in smaller groups, tighter communities. Strong ties, information travels fast. So if you're in a church and somebody has a baby and everybody finds out about it pretty quick because everybody is part of the strong tie community. But the people in the next church over, they won't find out about it until somebody in this church tells somebody in that church that this has happened. And that's a weak tie. The collaboration may be
Then we get
minuscule.
serious.
What?
Oh, that was Marco.
Yeah, something popped up in my background. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm done.
Thanks, Stan. I appreciate that strong and weak ties. They're very interesting. Jerry, how about you?
Well, thanks very much for all the sharing tonight. I always look forward to Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights, with all Zoom classes and groups and interconnecting, even if virtually, around the world. In our one time, I was working with a monk in Australia. He was late 20s, extremely handsome. And he tells me, he says, I can't find any girlfriend. I'm like, what? You know, he's like a dream from any American girl, you know?
Right.
And I realized that pretty soon he wasn't talking about just finding a girl. He had to find a girl who could relate on the spiritual level he was on.
Yeah.
And the vision I got was, in the Maya areas of Central America, you can climb up a pyramid. And when you're up on top of the pyramid, you cannot see the ground because the forest canopy is between you and the ground, even though you can hear the people talking down there and so forth. And the only thing you can see is across a river of ocean of green. Way in the distance is another pyramid. And it's kind of like us. We're like pyramids sticking up. The people that are down below the hammock, I mean the forest canopy, they can't understand us at all. You know, and it's kind of like connecting the way we do in this ways is very important as we start to build, you know, throughout the whole network of all of our different organizations. So.
Yes. And sometimes we have to come down off our pyramids so that the people down below can get a taste of what we've got up top.
Yeah, the view.
Thank you so much for doing your work.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, it's interesting that Marco looks like he has my exact background.
Yeah.
I was wondering when you were going to notice. I copied it last night when you put it in the chat.
It's flipped over from mine, so that's why I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it makes me want
to be there in person, you know, in the near future. So
yes,
I'm acclimatizing myself.
Oh my gosh, we had a 3-day ceremony here over the weekend with 2 of the monks from Canada, and just touched, as they talk about in the Bible, touched the hem of God.
Oh, wow. Nice. And Joan?
I'm very happy to be here. And I love listening to everybody talk because I learn things that I haven't known before. And I'm also given the ideas that I've thought about to continue going forward and searching for whatever is out there for information, that kind of thing.
Yes. And Angela, it would be lovely to have you join us in Humanity Rising. During the program, Stan will put in the link to join us in the after chat, and you're also very welcome there. So have I said goodbye to everybody? Marco, how about you?
Yeah, as always, I'm just happy to be part of all the conversations that come through the doors here.
Good. Okay. So, yes, Stan.
One more idea. I'm sorry.
Sure.
The fact that we can all come here and
Yeah.
feel close to the others is the amazing part of global networking. Because when we start learning, when we in large numbers start learning to not feel weird or unclose to other people that they meet, that will be the magic turning point when people can go somewhere and find other people and trust that they're not going to be out to get them.
Yeah. That was one of the things that I experienced in going to the New Human regeneration event was there was no moments of strange. You know how kids play strange at between 2 and 4 years old, sometimes 5 years old, where they won't leave any room for anybody. You can't like a kid at that age because it's hiding behind its mom's skirts. There was none of that feeling in the New Human regeneration event. Everybody was ready to hug the next person. And it was such a relief. We all knew that we were of like mind because we were there. And heart open all the time. It was just amazing.
The most amazing episode in my life was at Woodstock.
Well, the same thing happened
everybody-
at Woodstock.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Stanley, for saying that.
Yeah. We're working on that. You guys did a really good job, and thank you so much for doing it. You began the transformation of human society. I'm deeply grateful. And there is a school of thought that the beatniks were the beginning. And maybe they were, but you grounded it at Woodstock. It was a transformational event. Yeah. So thank you so much. And I wish you all a very good week. And I will see you
Take
next
care.
week.
Be well. Stay safe.
And you.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
How you doing, Stan? How's your health?
My health is still in question because my legs don't work. And I was walking, trying to walk up and down stairs, and it's very frustrating. So I have to do more exercises. And I need to go swimming. I have a membership in the pool, but I don't do it. And because I'm too busy being thinking or listening to other people thinking. And yeah, that's where it's at right now.
Well, I
And
would,
worrying. Yeah.
yeah, I I have this, problems with my legs too, and my feet. I've got the bunions that make it. I can't really even stand. I still got the swelling because I wouldn't let them kill the vein in my leg. I'm still trying to heal, or it's not trying. I'm still working on healing that vein so that the valves will work properly again. Despite the surgeon saying it can't happen, it's improving, but it's not all the way better. But one thing I found, struggling with, the aside from the fact that even without everything I've learned and how I understand fully the issues with global warming and how serious it all is, the depression that comes with dealing with that every day, along with my standard depression, has been struggle. But I started now. I get up every morning and I go down to Lake Huron and watch the sunrise. And I've been doing that almost right about 2 weeks every day, up and out there, and that's making a big difference in my mood. So getting those morning rays and just the consistency of, going out there and knowing, hey, there are things I can count on. The sun does rise every day. And even, when it's so overcast that you can't actually see the sun, it's like today, it was like just pouring rain. It lightened up by the time I got up to the lake, and then it let up enough that it was just sprinkling. So I was still able to get out and get pictures of the sunrise. And after about half an hour, it got above the clouds and found a hole in the clouds and, shined through. And it really let me realize that, if you show up and you rise every day, you'll get your chance to shine. I don't know, it's something to work with.
Yeah. Well, I was also having difficulties with my computers and making my day pages. Humanity Rising went through this awkward transition from being a 3-digit number of episodes to a 4-digit number of episodes.
That's right. You were anticipating what might
I
happen.
didn't anticipate it clearly enough, but I just said, oh, well, when it comes, it'll come and I'll figure it out. And that's what I've been doing. And it's starting to work out very nicely.
Good.
And actually, with moving my emails to May 1st, are you familiar with May 1st? It's a collective kind of group of radical computer people. And they run this service out of New York. But they have half their members are from Mexico. So when they have events, it's a divide between Spanish and English, and you can be in one place and hear the translation on the other side, and I don't have to deal with that because I only speak English. So, but yeah, they offer access to the same software I've been using with Bluehost, which is lovely because all I had to do was move the names and change a couple settings in the program, and make it have the settings that I need and bring the names over, and that turned out to be more painless than I thought. And my anticipation was that it was going to be slow, and it turned out that when I send the emails to it, they show up pretty quick. And you should have emails from either Chat People or Chat People 3. I don't remember which list you're on, but I'm going to merge them all into Chat People so that I don't have to bother even switching to another email software. Just we'll use the one address, and hopefully it won't get caught by the spam filters all over the world. Because that was what's happening. What happened to me in Bluehost? Bluehost decided that they were going to filter my mails, and I was getting all these bounce backs.
Oh, that's so
And then asking them what to do about it, they said they sent me access to a fairly involved text file explaining what they want me to do, which includes changing a bunch of email passwords or something. So change the passwords of all these things. Okay, very good. I'll move out of here. Goodbye. I was glad to have the opportunity. I've been a member for the May 1st for several years. Okay, here's my assistant back. We have to take my air conditioner out of the window. You want to do that now?
No.
No?
Are we
Okay.
gonna? Yeah. Well, I want to know.
Okay, well, all right. So, bye, Marco. So come and see Marco.
so it would be.
Bye, Marco. Bye, Marco.
Hi.
I gotta take care of this man's air conditioner.
Thank
You want to do mine too?
Yeah, well, why not? Bring it over here.
So that would be May 1st movement technology.
Backdrop.
Yes.
You should get one. You have an ugly backdrop.
This machine is too primitive to
Okay.
run a background.
Okay.
Okay, it's.
We could get one to stand behind you.
Yeah, $300 machine.
No, we'll put cardboard behind you.
Cardboard. Okay.
Yeah, a wood scene like that. A waterfall. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
well,
Yeah.
I have a million.
Good.
there you go.
Yeah.
Look
There
at
you
that.
go. That looks like a bedroom. All right.
All right. Bye, Marco. I'm going to leave
Bye.
and
Yeah.
take care of this wonderful lady who's agreed to help me with my air conditioner so that we don't drop it out the window. Both of us have had experiences where we dropped an air conditioner out the window and people below had to deal with it coming down.
Ouch.
We were fortunate that nobody ever got hurt.
Well,
So,
be safe.
yes, thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Did you drop an air conditioner?